Hello everyone, welcome back to Waluigi Syndrome. You may have noticed that there's a new background and I'm on Windows 10 now. I just got a brand new laptop from my amazing aunt. She's so great. She brought down one of her old laptops and I'll do like a showcase of it later. But yeah, it's in brand new condition, works great, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 2.20 gigahertz I think, and about a terabyte of onboard storage. So yeah, it's pretty great. So I made my background this awesome Smash Ultimate background. Yeah, you can get it too. Just search up Smash Ultimate desktop background. It's like the first or second result off of Google. I just downloaded it and bam, here we go. So yeah, so first off, just wanted to say really quick that I'm going to be trying to fix my upload schedule. I've been very bad about that lately. I can't remember when my last video was or what it even was, but it was probably my last video was the like a Fortnite video. So yeah, I'm gonna be working on upping my quality. I got since now this computer can actually handle stuff. I have a video editor and this is what I use to record. I might even do like a tutorial on how I make my YouTube videos. And this is what I use to edit my videos. And yeah, so I'm trying to make a weekly upload schedule, maybe if I get enough time every other day, but I've been slammed with so much homework. Yeah, anyway, alright, let's get into the video. Okay, so today's video is going to be my thoughts on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. First, hold on a second, let me, there we go. That'll make it so that there's no desktop audio, or there shouldn't be. Yeah, it looks like there isn't. Okay. Well, it's not playing now, so I'll check. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to be giving my thoughts about Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, the upcoming Pokemon games that launched November 16th, 2018. So yeah, in like a little under a month, I actually am going tomorrow to GameStop to pre-order them. So you can tell right away that, I'm getting them, so obviously I like them, but I do have quite a few, not quite a few, but a lot of problems with them. So yeah, let's just go ahead. I'm just gonna pull up some background game. This is the E3 2018 gameplay, so there's a little bit of like stuff going on. Let me make sure there's no desktop audio. All right, so let's go. Yep, and there will be a face cam. This will probably get copyright claimed, but whatever. All right, so first off. Oh, by the way, there's no script for this. It's because I just kind of want to be natural. A lot of times when people give their thoughts, they like take stuff out and they really think hard about it. But no, I'm just going with the flow, doing it off the top of my head. So you'll probably hear a lot of ums and oh no or oops, my bad, tripping over my words. Deal with it. All right. So I guess the first thing I should just bring up is I'm going to start with the positive and then go to the negative and then a little more positive again. Okay, so positive for me is back to Kanto because yes, I have played the Gen 1 games. I haven't played Red and Blue, but I played Yellow, and they're basically the same with the exception of the following Pikachu and a few differences in terms of levels and difficulty, and like features and stuff. Because there's the mini games and stuff, or Surfing Pikachu minigame, and I think there is. I'm not sure if there's a Balloon one or not. So yeah, anyway. Excuse me. So a lot of people have been complaining that this is a Kanto remake. And in my opinion, it's great because a lot of people really want Gen 4 or Diamond and Pearl and Platinum remakes, and I do too, because I haven't actually gotten a chance to play Gen 4. I could, but I just don't really want to spend $20 on a DS game. I mean, it seems like a DS Pokemon game that's pretty old by now, and it looks good, but I just don't really like. I'm on a really tight budget right now, and I mean, I have other stuff to spend my money on, and not that like I probably will end up playing. I don't Diamond and Pearl or Platinum, but I just kind of want to wait for the Switch version to come out if a remake happens to be made. Oh, and this footage was captured by Gamer's Price, so you can see there's a little like a watermark there. So yeah, okay, so I personally think Kanto is a positive thing. Now I'm going to bring up the negative part of this. There's only, well, this is kind of hard to say because I don't know how, like, it's been said, but it's not technically true, but whatever. There's only 151 Pokemon in this game. Technically, that's not true because of Meltan, which is, in case you haven't heard, the new mythical Pokemon that kind of looks like a Ditto with a nut over its head. They made 2 animated trailers, I guess, or little video short movies things with actual voice acting, and I thought they were pretty interesting. To announce that he's not going to be catchable in the game, I guess what you're going to do is there'll be a mystery box in Pokemon Go, and when you catch a certain amount of Pokemon, I think it's just once you catch a Pokemon that day or something, the mystery box will open, and then a bunch of Meltan will pop. One or more, I don't know. It's kind of they've been vague. Meltan will pop up around you. You'll catch them, and then you have to transfer them into Let's Go, the Let's Go games. So Meltan's not actually catchable in the game, but since I'm pretty sure everyone who has a Switch probably has access to a smartphone, then they'll be able to get Meltan. Like pretty easily, because you can, I don't know, I think it's once you transfer the amount of Pokemon you transfer to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, is like the amount of times your box opens or something. I don't really know. They've been really confusing and vague about it. So yeah, but it just kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. I don't like that there's no more Pokemon, excluding Meltan, there's no more Pokemon than the original 151, because personally, I just think that's ridiculous. Like, when we returned to Johto, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the Gen 4 Pokemon are in there. And I'm not sure. Like, I have Heart Gold, but I haven't been able to play it a lot. But I know at least the Gen 3 Pokemon are in there. So it makes total sense that Let's Go should have more Pokemon. And I mean, I understand not having all 807 or 8 now with Meltan. I think we're at 808. I'm pretty sure. So it makes sense to me because obviously that's a lot of development time and character modeling. I'm pretty sure they already have all the HD character models and walking animations for them, but whatever. I'm sure it's still a lot to implement into a game in terms of balancing and moves and where you're going to catch them, and it's still a lot of work. But I still feel like it's a bit ridiculous. For example, like, at the very least, I think you should be able to get Pokemon that evolve or are pre-evolutions of the original 151. So, for example, Magmar. You should be able to get Magmotor in that game by trading with the Magmarizer and get Magmortar or Motor, whatever one it is. Mortar, I think. So there is no really logical reason that Magmortar is not in that game, or like Electivire, or Electivire. I butcher Pokemon names. It's just, I don't know. Like, I get they wanna, it's a remake of Yellow, so they want to like stick with the original 151. But to me, I don't know. I just kind of feel like this is what I think is gonna happen. If these games do well enough, which, I mean, let's face it, they probably will, I honestly feel like we'll get a Pokemon game every year, and it'll be a new generation or a main series game. I guess a new generation. Like next year, like let's say 2019, we'll get Gen 8, presumably. They'll probably throw another curveball and it'll be something totally different, but let's just say that's what's going to happen. Then in 2020, we'll get, Let's Go Pichu and Let's Go Togepi or something. And the Let's Go series is going to be its own series, and all future remakes are going to be remade in the format of Let's Go. That's honestly what I feel like is going to happen, and I'm actually okay with that. As long as the Gen 8 games don't get, I don't want to say dumbed down, but simplified to the point that Let's Go is. As long as the Gen 8 games still have everything that Gen 7 has and more. Because that's honestly what I expect. And I'm going to go ahead and address another problem. I know I said I was going to do positive stuff first, but I'm already in a negative mood. So, here we go. Another complaint I hear all the time. No abilities, no held items, no, I don't know, no abilities and held items, I guess. This, I kind of, like, I understand it, because, yeah, like, I mean, it kind of changes a lot of the, game. So, for example, Ditto, and, I don't know, like, I don't know what gen abilities were introduced. I know I'm a hardcore Pokemon fan, and I should know that, and I do. I'm just kind of not really able to think right now. So anyway, I think it was Gen 3. So let's just say it was Gen 3. So when Gen 3 abilities were introduced, and Ditto got the ability Transform, which, as you know, lets him just, you know, transform into the other, into the opposing Pokemon, and, you know, mimic them, basically. Or shape-shift into them. But now that abilities aren't in the game anymore, when you send out your Ditto, you're going to have to select Transform as a move and then use up your turn by transforming. So that puts Dittos, like, that definitely makes Dittos a lot less viable than they were before. And a lot of other Pokemon will just be negatively affected by these abilities, like Intimidate, like Arcanine, for example. I mean, obviously, he's still going to be a great Pokemon, but he'll definitely be hurt by not having Intimidate. So, but the thing that people keep forgetting is that this is a remake of Pokemon Yellow, and Pokemon Yellow did not have held items or abilities. And was Pokemon Yellow great? Yes, it was. And I kind of am split on this. I honestly don't know where to fall, because the counter argument, obviously, that I'm presenting, that most people are presenting, is that, oh, well, Gen 1 didn't have held items and abilities, so it's okay for this to not have it, or that makes it like it's a remake of Yellow, so it makes sense. And part of me agrees with that, but the other part of me says no. When all the other generations were remade, they kept the features that the previous generations had, for the most part, with the exception of, like, you know, like, little things. But, like, when, or they added features, but they didn't, like, I don't know, like, I'm tripping over my words. So, like, it kind of makes sense. What I'm saying is that it kind of makes sense that, they don't have these abilities or held items, but at the same time, I think it's stupid. To be frank with you, I think it's just really dumb. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I was getting into competitive battling in my copy of Ultra Moon. I trained up a competitive Shiny Ultra Beast team, all 6 IV, good abilities. I was like getting really into it. I mean, I did tournament battles online and stuff. I battled here and there online on the tournaments and on, like, the battle spot and stuff. And I wanted to become, like, an online competitive battler, but it's a lot more complicated than it seems. And I don't know, I was just kind of getting burnt out, and it's fun, but I'm kind of looking forward to having a, for lack of better words, dumbed down Pokemon experience that I can just enjoy, that's just fun, because all the, I mean, it's not really confusing, but all the more complex stuff is a lot of it isn't that necessary. So I'm looking forward to a simple Pokemon game, but I do not want this to be the norm for Pokemon games. So, another thing I'm just going to bring up really quick is that a huge argument is, like, this game offers nothing for the competitive community and blah, blah, blah. And you know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say to that? You're absolutely right. This game, if you're a competitive Pokemon player, and the point of you wanting to play Pokemon is to hatch eggs, because I forgot to mention this, but breeding and egg hatching is not a thing in this game, which does admittedly make me angry, because even though I think the process of breeding and egg hatching is egg hatching, excuse me, is tedious and frankly kind of annoying, I do enjoy it and think it's better than just having to hope that you catch the right one. But it looks like there's going to be some kind of like chain catching feature, sort of like the SOS calling feature in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. So we'll see where that goes. Maybe that'll help. And also, to me, it's not really important like how good these Pokemon are. I mean, it's important, but like I don't care if they're 6 IV, perfect nature, blah blah blah, because that's not going to be a thing in this game. But also because this game seems pretty easy, at least from the footage that we've seen, which I'll get to in a minute. I'm not too worried about having perfect battlers. I mean, except until it comes to the post-game content, which I'll talk about in a minute. This discussion is going to be a lot longer than I originally planned, so I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I probably should have scripted this, but I just wanted my natural, off the top of my head opinion on it, because I feel like that's going to be more honest, more open, and more spontaneous and a bit more interesting than like a scripted video where I'll maybe filter some stuff. Just giving my honest thoughts. So, yeah, competitive players, guess what? No offense, but quit whining, because Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon still have, it's not like they're not able to be used anymore. You still have 3DSs, and you still have online, and the Gen 8, or I shouldn't say Gen 8, the next set of Pokemon games are coming out late 2019, and hopefully, if they're not, then I will actually be upset, but I'm sure that they will be like a continuation. Gen 8 is a loose term I'm using for, you know, continuing on the same features and trends and stuff. And since I'm being all negative, why don't I bring up a positive, since they just spawned in a player and reminded me that one positive of this game, at least for me, is that this game has co-op. And a lot of people are like, oh, this will break the game and make it too easy and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, you know what, it might, but I can't really think of any way that they could like make the game balanced by having co-op, unless they were to make it so that in order to play co-op, you would have to have a whole separate save file that would have harder enemies with higher levels and better moves. Then I could understand that, but the whole point of Switch is, like, you know, anytime, anywhere, you can just pop off a Joy-Con and be like, here you go, if you see your friend. Or if, like, I'm playing and a family member walks into the room and they're like, hey, that looks fun, which, I mean, let's be honest, they won't, but let's say they did, then I could just be like, here you go, and hand them another Joy-Con, and they could just pop in and start playing. And that's kind of, like, what's great about it. You don't have to make a whole nother mode. So I kind of think for all these people whining that are like, oh, it'll make the game too easy and blah, 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 then don't play a 2-player. I'm sorry, but, like, I mean, if you're playing it with another person, like, most games are easier when you play them with another person. It's, like, it honestly isn't really that great of an argument to say that these games are bad because when you play them with another player, they get easier, because most games do. Unless it's like a Mario 2D platformer where you end up just bumping into each other and making things worse. So another negative thing about this game is, this is going to be controversial, the exclusion of wild Pokemon battles. I don't know how to feel about this. I am so glad that they got rid of random encounters, because I was not a fan of random encounters and the whole, like, tediousness of having an already perfectly leveled, fine Pokemon team. I don't need to train them, and just wanting to continue the story or go out to a certain area and have to walk through the grass and get and bump into a wild Pokemon 3 times and take, like, even though it doesn't take that long, I mean, when you're sitting down for a long play session, it can take like 30 minutes out of your play time, depending on if you're like in a cave, like all these people that like. Do you remember the Zubat that endlessly swarmed you in Mountain Moon? Like, come on, like I'm glad they're gone and that you can avoid them, because another thing that people are saying like, oh, this game's too easy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and address that. This game's too easy. My first point is that Pokemon games have never been hard. Pokemon Red and Blue were not hard. And in my opinion, Gen 6 and 7 are not actually harder than Red and Blue. They're just easier to progress through, and you progress through them faster because of the XP share, which I think is a better thing. Because in Red and Blue and Yellow, so I'm just going to use Yellow for example. In Yellow, your starter is a Pikachu, and the first gym is obviously Brock's Rock Gym, so that made it incredibly difficult. The only way, at least the way I always used, and that like the way I've always used and continue to use to this date, because I can't really figure out any other way to do it, and I don't really want to, is to catch a Caterpie, level it up to a Metapod, and then level it up to a Butterfree, and then once it levels or evolves, that was the chair. Sorry. Once it evolves into a Butterfree, it'll learn Confusion, which is a psychic type move, which were so overpowered in Gen 1, and just use that against Brock's Pokemon over and over again, and then defeat him. That's always what I've done. So it actually takes about an hour to level up your Caterpie into a Butterfree, and it's not fun. It's just tedious grinding, because Caterpie is so weak that you can't really battle against anything in the grass in the beginning of the game, even in the beginning of the game, to level him up. So what you have to do is put him in the beginning of your party, and then every time you start a battle, swap into your Pikachu, blast away the Pidgey or Rattata or Metapod or Caterpie or Nidoran or whatever you're fighting with your sorry, I laughed at the Onix, with your Pikachu, and then end the battle, and then the Caterpie will get some experience, and just do this over and over again until it reaches level 10, which doesn't sound like that high of a level, which it's not, but it takes forever to get to in the main games. You level up so slowly. And that's why a lot of times it seems like the newer Pokemon games have less content, because the story you get through so much faster. But guess what? Like, at least in my opinion, plowing through hundreds of Rattatas just to level up your Pokemon is not fun. I like leveling up my Pokemon, I like battling, but not doing it, having to do it for like an hour or 30 minutes straight just to get to a certain part of the story. I want to be able to like have fun while I'm doing it and just enjoy it. So that's my opinion on the whole like XP share thing, which is a thing in this game, I'm pretty sure. And I just think that it makes sense, and that these games, you can probably get through them, almost definitely get through them a lot faster than Red, Blue, and Yellow, just because, well, like even without the co-op, just because of the XP share. So now that we're here, I gotta bring up another quick thing. The rival, this guy, right here. His name's Trace. I hate him. And I know it's judgmental for me to say that, because, oh, hate's a strong word. You haven't even played and, like, seen him in the game, played the game. So, I won't say I hate him. I strongly dislike him. I prefer that I don't mind friendly rivals when they have a personality. Like May in Gen 3, for example. She has a charming, likable personality that was like fun. So like when I encountered her, it was fun. But how? In Gen 7, I mean, I guess you could also say he has a fun, likable personality, which he does. But to me, it was just so extreme that it was annoying. And in that game, it just felt like you were the rival beating him, and it was just not fun to me. The how aspect. I don't mind him as a character. It's fine, but I don't want to have to battle him like 15 times in one game. And I think that I mean, it's nice to have a support character that's like that. That's your friend, and you can battle them, sure, but don't make them your rival and call them your rival, because especially when they're in this game, when they're like, hey, it's your friendly rival Chase. It just no, like if you had like a rival, I mean, you don't have to be a thief like Silver or a total jerk like Blue or Gary in the anime, but you don't have to be so friendly that if you defeat someone, you're like, oh, sorry, let me revive your team for you and give you some money and potions and stuff that cost like 5,000 Poké Dollars. Like, no, nobody would do that. Just stop. It's not that hard. And I'm sorry to say this, but Junichi Masuda has been frustrating me. He, in case you don't know, I don't know exactly what his role is anymore, because I do believe he switched positions. At least he did with, he's been the director of most of the 3DS Pokemon games, except Ultra Sun and Moon, I believe. So yeah, and this is getting, oh wow, it's going to be a really long video, but whatever. So, yeah, he's been frustrating me because his reason for Pokemon Let's Go being shorter is because kids have a shorter attention span. And I know lots of kids who's, not lots, but a good amount of kids of like 13 and younger who love Breath of the Wild and have put 100 hours into it. Yes, some kids, like, unfortunately, society today, kids are too busy staring at their, like, phones and having instantaneous game access of crappy mobile games that they don't want to sit down and play an actual good console game. They'd rather, like, play The Sims Mobile on their phone. But, like, by dumbing the game down, you're not going to get those, like, you're not going to get those players. And if you do, they're not going to be dedicated players that'll probably end up buying the sequel in the first place. So I don't see why you would do that. It honestly just seems lazy to me. But that's, yeah, I've made my feelings clear on that. You probably know how I'm thinking. So anyway, I'll just mention, I'm going to just wrap up the negative part. Yeah, the rival, I just think that's stupid. I kind of feel like the reason they did it is because I'm hoping, well, I don't know, I'm hoping and I'm not hoping, because I don't know, I don't want them to, like, ruin it, but I kind of feel like Red and Blue are going to make an appearance in this game like they did in Alola. So, I kind of feel like that's why they replaced the rival, because it's a different character. And he could be related to Oak, he might not be, who knows, but I'm pretty sure he's your neighbor in this game. It's like, so, he's in, like, his house is where, Blue's house was. And, okay, this is another thing. You can tell, right, it's going to pop up right here. It kind of timed right. Just look at the screen. Alright, he's taking too long. Basically, one of the reasons people have been saying this game is easier, yeah, right here. You have to bring a Pokemon with the type advantage into the gym. However, it has not been confirmed, to my knowledge, that you are required to perform the gym battle with said Pokemon. So, you just have to catch, like, from what I understand, at least, and have heard, you just have to catch a water or grass Pokemon to enter Brock's gym. Then you can just switch them out of your party once you enter and battle with your normal team. And let's face it, most of the time your team is going to be evenly balanced to the point that you'll have most of the types, different types anyway, so it's not going to be a problem. So yeah, it's just, yeah. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this game. Another thing that's a positive for me, but negative, or okay, one last negative thing. Actually, this is not a positive for me. It's a tangent. I'm going to go on positive and then go on a tangent that's negative. So what's positive to me is the Pokemon Go integration. Right now, at least how I feel, I'm glad they got rid of the wild battles just for this game. Don't keep doing it. Like, bring them back. What I would have preferred is that you saw Pokemon in the overworld. They're not random encounters, but they kept the wild battles instead of just catching. But I don't mind it. I think it's a nice change of pace. And just a little mix-up, because honestly, as much as I love Pokemon, the whole catching and battling thing is getting a bit bland. However, and you still battle legendaries, which I kind of was hoping and figured would happen. So that's totally fine. Like, yeah, I just think it's stupid how, like, in, like, Pokemon Go, when you catch, like, well, actually, never mind. I was going to say, when Pokemon Go, you just have to throw a ball to catch a legendary. But actually, most of the time, when you get a legendary in Pokemon Go, you have to do a raid battle to get them, which that's a whole other thing I have a problem with, because you have to have, like, a lot of amount of people to do it, but whatever. Unless you get it from, like, your special research tasks, which then you can just throw it. But, I mean, Pokemon Go is Pokemon Go, so it's expected. Yeah. And you still battle trainers and everything, so I think it's fine. It's been confirmed by multiple people that have worked on this game that, quote-unquote, it gets a lot harder. I don't really know what that means. I don't know. But honestly, you know, I don't really care if this game is hard or not. I would like it to give me a challenge and not just let me breeze through it. But even if I do just breeze through it, I'm going to like it, and I think this thing's almost over. So I'm just going to pause it here so I can keep talking. Or I guess I'll just go back a minute, a bit. I'm tripping over my words today. So, yeah, there's a lot of negative, but there's so much positive in my opinion. I'm just going to sum up the positive because I don't really want to keep talking. I'm sure you're bored. You've probably left the video by now. If not, thanks for staying or skipping through it. The reason I'm pre-ordering this game tomorrow, or probably today as of the time this video's, like, this video will probably be uploaded tomorrow, so, because, you know, editing and all that, it's an HD Pokemon game, which, honestly, is just great. Pokemon follow you. That's something I've been wanting since Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and it looks beautiful. And I mean, just riding through the city on an Onix is hilarious, and I can't wait to see all the different. I know most of them are out, like, have been revealed, or we've seen the walking animations for them, but I can't wait to, like, see what, like, Mewtwo's walking animation is, or, like, see if, like, how do you ride on Moltres, because it would burn you? Like, does it fly behind you, or do you ride on it and you're immune to the flames, like when you ride on a Ponyta? I don't know. I'm just interested to see. And it just looks fun. Just being able to trade and bring my Switch, and, like, I'm so excited to, like, my sister's not into Pokemon. She played the first hour or two. She played up to the trainer school in Ultra Sun and got bored. She's not, like, I would not call her, like, I would not say she's, like, a typical example of today's generation, but she definitely, like, would rather play a quick mobile game than sit down and play a console game. But she has played a few hours of Breath of the Wild, which is a pretty slow-paced game, so I don't know. I think she just, she also doesn't like the idea of animals hurting each other, which I don't either, but I like Pokemon. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that, so I'm just going to move on. I don't really like the art style. I like it, but I don't like it. I like the Gen 7 art style better, and I honestly feel like parts of this game, not all of it, because, like, Viridian Forest definitely looks HD and great, but parts of this game, like some of the towns that we saw in the trailers, they just look like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire put into an emulator and up-resed to, like, 1080p. And I hate saying this, but that's just how I feel it looks. And it hurts to say, but yeah. So I'm hoping with the next generation of Pokemon games on the Switch, presumably, or yeah, I think they confirmed it was on Switch, that it'll have more of the Gen 7 art style with more of the two-proportion human body. And, like, the Pokemon are all nice and proportioned in here, and the sizes are accurate, but the human bodies just seem kind of doll-like, and I don't really like that. It's nice to have a bright atmosphere, especially since I've been playing Batman Arkham games. I just finished Origins, Asylum, I just finished City, still haven't done the DLC, and I'm going to play Night. So those are all, like, darker games. So I can't wait. Like I'm not gonna say I can't wait, but it'll be nice to have a nice, fresh, colorful thing, kind of like Splatoon. But I wish it had a bit more. It was a bit more realistic instead of like the big anime eyes and the doll shaped. I don't know. Some parts they look kind of normal. But some parts of the humans just look odd to me. Anyway, I'm getting a little negative again. Back to the positive. Pokeball Plus. I'm excited to use that. It looks cool because I want it, or not Pokeball Plus, the Pokeball controller. Because I wanted a Pokeball Plus, the little wrist thing for Pokemon Go. But that was expensive, and I was like, it doesn't do that much. But this one, you can like hear their noises and use it as like a Joy-Con for the game, and then also connect it with your phone and play Pokemon Go with it. So if I'm like in the car or something and I don't have my phone out, I can just like, because I don't want to waste the battery or something, which I'm sure it'll still waste battery. But if I'm doing other things on my phone or I don't know, in the middle of a conversation, I can just like kind of play Pokemon and use it on, I don't know, like feel like a kid by just throwing it at the TV, not literally, pretend throwing it at the TV. I think it's, okay, let me rephrase that. I understand why they locked Mew behind it, and I'm okay with it. I'm not upset about that. What I'm upset about is that you can't transfer your Mew from Pokemon Go, if you have one, into Let's Go, because I spent hours in Pokemon Go getting that thing, and the fact that it's just locked in there and I can't transfer it to the Switch game is stupid. I think it's like annoying, but okay, sure, you have to buy the controller to get the Pokemon. I mean, when I saw the controller, I was going to buy it anyway, before I saw that it was like Mew was exclusive to it, so that's just like added benefit for me. But I think it's stupid for the people that put in hard work and just want to use their Joy-Con, getting their Mew in the Pokemon game, and they just want to use Joy-Cons and they can't transfer it. That's stupid. But I'm excited to see Meltan and his new evolution or form. As of this video, it hasn't been confirmed, but there's this weird trailer thing that showed like the shadow of like kind of like a Reggie, like the Reggie Rock or Reggie Ice trio, you know, the trio, Reggie Rock, Ice and Steel trio, and Reggie Gigas, kind of looking like that, but with a Meltan head, and I hope that's evolution. Since they said there's only one new Pokemon, I guess that would mean it's a new form, kind of like Zygarde, but either way, I'm excited. Looks pretty cool. I can't wait to play these games. I'm going to pre-order them tomorrow, and following Pokemon, it's going to look so great. I'll do one if when I get a capture card, I'll do a playthrough of these games. What the heck? Or maybe I don't know. I'm trying to kind of lead away from playthroughs. I'm taking a break. I like playing games on my own. I like doing stuff like this better. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee in the comments below. I mean, there's a lot of positive stuff out of this game. It's cute. They're awesome. You can pet the Pokemon. I know it's childish, but it entertains me, at least for a few minutes. It's on the Switch. I mean, come on. We've been wanting Pokemon games on the Switch for a while. And it just, like, look at the menu right here. It just looks so clean, and I like it. I'm not big on the version exclusives and the different versions thing still staying, since now they're $60 each. But, you know, since I'm a stupid diehard fanboy, I'm probably going to get both. But personally, I'm starting with Let's Go Eevee, because I call my dog my Eevee, because he looks like a little Eevee, and I love him. And I'm going to name Eevee after my dog and play through it. And I like Pikachu. I really like Pikachu too, but he's just, I've had a lot of him, whereas Eevee I haven't used as much. So, yeah. But I'm excited for these games. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. Like I said before, please like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this comes down okay. Let me know what you think of my video quality, how I can improve it, what you want me to change or fix or whatever. But thanks. Thank you so much, and have a great day.